Hi guys, thanks for joining us again on the channel. So, there's a reason I haven't talked about this one until now. It's not because I didn't want to talk about it, but because I needed to get it right. And now, the wait's over. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer absolutely loves this scooter, especially as a first-time electric bike experience. After using it extensively, covering hundreds of miles in just a couple of months, they still sing its praises. Initially, there were no major problems, aside from a flat tire. Our reviewer regularly enjoys rides of significant distances and hasn't yet managed to completely drain the battery using pedal assist, which they found provided more power than needed for their rides. However, it's not without its drawbacks. This client mentions that the seat wasn't the most comfortable, recommending a seat pad. Also, taller individuals might find the handlebars a bit low. Furthermore, the lack of rear suspension makes it less ideal for serious off-road trails. Despite those points, this is still highly recommended, particularly for those new to e-bikes, because the price point is just unbeatable. It encouraged our reviewer to get back into riding, and they're thrilled with the experience. After more usage, some minor issues emerged. The initial seat discomfort required some getting used to. A gel cover and angle adjustment helped, but an aftermarket seat is still being considered. A steering wobble was fixed by tightening a bolt, and a pedal assist issue where the throttle still worked. Our reviewer was able to resolve this by reseating the sensor. Cable problems in the computer box were also fixed. Finally, the brakes are showing wear, and finding compatible replacements has been a challenge, possibly leading to an upgrade of the calipers. All things considered, our reviewer continues to find this scooter a lot of fun and a great value for the price. They report reaching certain top speeds using both pedal assist and throttle, and having enjoyed longer rides.
Excellent. Let's find out what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer wanted to hold off on writing a review until they had some real experience with this electric bike. Overall, they're happy with the purchase, but there were a couple of hiccups that might present a challenge for less mechanically inclined buyers. Initially, the derailleurs and brakes needed some adjustments after assembly. Our reviewer notes that this wasn't a big deal if you have a bike stand, but others might find it tricky. More concerning was a persistent squeak and odd feeling in the front bottom bracket when pedaling under pressure. This issue steadily worsened, and after about 200 miles, it became clear that the bottom bracket was defective and needed replacing. This required specialized tools and some mechanical know-how, involving removing the crank arms, front sprocket, and the sealed bottom bracket itself. While the seller agreed to reimburse the cost of the replacement part, this client is aware that some bike shops are hesitant to work on e-bikes purchased online, which could leave less experienced owners in a frustrating situation. On a brighter note, the battery performance has exceeded expectations. This electric bike was purchased primarily for pedal assist on longer rides, and it excels in that regard. The reviewer can easily cover 40 miles using pedal assist before needing a recharge. They rarely use the throttle, but when tested, the bike reached speeds of over 20 mph without issue. Typically riding on mostly flat rail trails, the battery life is even more impressive. Despite being a bit heavy, this e-bike handles bumpy trails surprisingly well. The reviewer hopes this honest assessment helps potential buyers make an informed decision.
Cool, let's uncover what our next reviewer has to say.
This reviewer initially loved this scooter, mentioning having a great experience right from the start. They quickly adapted it for their daily commute, which involved some challenging hills. While noting that the battery life wasn't quite as long as hoped, it was still sufficient for their needs. They did have to replace the headlight immediately, finding the included one inadequate. Adding a rack and saddlebags turned out to be a successful modification. The reviewer anticipated other members of their household buying the same scooter. However, after nearly a year of regular use, things changed. They noticed the battery was losing capacity, requiring frequent charging. Finding replacement brake pads proved difficult initially, but they eventually managed to make a set work. The reviewer then encountered a significant issue. The scooter would suddenly shut down despite showing a full charge. Contacting the manufacturer resulted in slow communication, leading them to seek help from a local electric bike repair shop. The repair shop confirmed the battery had reached the end of its life. The reviewer replaced it with a different brand of battery, which required some rewiring but ultimately got them back on the road. Reflecting on the experience, they realized proper charging habits from the beginning could have extended the original battery's lifespan. Despite the battery issue, the reviewer still considered it an exceptional purchase, having put several thousand miles on it over a year. They highlighted the quality of components like the Shimano brakes and shifting system. Beyond standard maintenance like tire replacements, only the chain and brake pads had needed replacing. Overall, the reviewer was very happy with the scooter's performance and durability, even with heavy use and challenging riding conditions.
And that's a wrap. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you've got thoughts. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.